Unidome in Cedar Falls, Iowa Public Television presents an intrastate showdown between the 9th-ranked Iowa Hawkeyes and the 16th-ranked Northern Iowa Panthers. Hello everyone, I'm Tim Johnson and welcome to our second telecast in our 29th season of college wrestling. It's always a pleasure to welcome my broadcast partner, Hall of Famer Dan Gable. And Dan, the big meet on Sunday between Iowa and Iowa State, that was a great one.
They really were no losers there. Both sides really battled, and Iowa State won the final score there, but the Hawks looked pretty good as well.
Well, here we are in the Unidome for the UNI Iowa meet tonight, and I can't help but think, 1997, when you were coaching the Hawkeyes, they set an all-time record for most points scored. It was your last performance as a coach. I bet that brings back a lot of great memories.
Well, it was a record-breaking performance, and we weren't really supposed to win that championship, so it just capped off a great career for me.
Well, your successor, Jim Zalesky, in his 8th season, he has to get back on his horse and ride after that loss against Iowa State, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, anytime Iowa has a loss in wrestling, that next match is big, and obviously this is a big one for Coach Zalesky with the Panthers.
Well, he's got a lot to build on. He had 5 victories against Iowa State, and 2 freshmen, Matt Fields and Mark Perry, really came through for him.
Well, he may be a freshman, but when he shot this takedown and got that winning takedown in the last 20 or 30 seconds, Fields showed that he can score on an All-American to win in a big meet. So he may be a freshman, but he's already ranked in the top 6 in the country. And the other freshman, Perry, you know, he's not a freshman either, really, because he's got some bloodline there with John Smith. So he's a stud, and he's also proven that he can do well in the Iowa State match, and he was a victor there. But he was kind of like the heavyweight out there, and he needed a fall for the Hawkeyes to get a win. But he's not going to be wrestling tonight because he's home studying because they had a class.
Well, that's the student athlete, and a former student athlete of yours, another wrestler, now turned head coach, the head coach of the UNI Panthers, Brad Penrith.
Well, I can't say, enough about Brad because we've been through a lot in our career, and I'll tell you what, he's taken care of his life unbelievably, and he's taking the care of other people's lives. So he's looking for a win. He's a great coach, and he wants to prove it.
Well, they were disappointed last year with the 21st finish in the NCAAs, but they have 4 returning NCAA qualifiers and 2 returning All-Americans in Eric Howen and Sean Stender.
Well, Eric Howen, he's doing very well. He's explosive. He can also almost put you on your back off takedowns, and he's got a freshman tonight, so I'm thinking that they're looking for some pretty big points there to try to get the Panthers on the scoreboard at that weight class. But Sean Stender is an Iowa kid, and he's explosive, and he can score just about at any time. He's a 2-time All-American. He's off to a start that's a little bit rocky, but I'm sure that he's going to try to come out here and prove to him or everybody there that he's a 2-time All-American.
Well, let's get the other perspective, more insight from the other coach, Jim Gibbons, former national champion wrestler and coach, and our other colleague.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tim, when I look at this meet, I really think it's really interesting. 4 or 5 days ago, both teams, or actually the Iowa team with a young team, was investing a lot of emotional capital in interstate rivalry. Now you go to a situation here 4 or 5 days later, you got to go in here, and is UNI kind of waiting in the weeds for him here? So one of the big matchups, though, is going to be at 149 pounds, where you get 2 ranked guys. Ty Eustace, ranked number 6, versus Jeff Harrison, ranked number 14. And here you have Ty Eustace in the match situation in the big interstate meet last weekend. Got a big major decision out there. Really explosive. Really scored a lot of points in the 3rd period, and what you see right there is short offense. See here with the big meet, big win later on. Here gets his hand raised. Hawkeyes, if they're going to do well in the national tournament, really need some improvement from him. And then there's Jeff Harrison from UNI. A little bit difference in styles here. Jeff Harrison likes to go to a lot of the single leg. You'll see him, if he's successful, get low on that single leg. And here you see him against Trent Paulson, ranked wrestler last year, going ahead and getting a big takedown. Actually beat Paulson in this match. So Harrison's got some skills, and he'll get after it here. We'll expect to see good things from him. The meet's going to start out here at 141 with Tsirtsis and Ettleson, Eustace and Harrison. And at 157 and 65, it's probably 3 Hawkeyes. Look for Johnston and Pate probably to wrestle versus Boteto and Bama. Lofthouse versus Howen at 174. On the back half, it's going to be Bradley, Fellers versus Dolly or Dunning. Pate versus Stender at 197. Fields and Zadick. And 2 possible wrestlers there at 125 for the Hawkeyes, and finishing out at 141. Actually, 133. All right. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you, Jim. We're ready at the Unidome for the UNI Panther Iowa Hawkeye dual meet, where you're looking at Mike Allen, one of the top officials in the NCAA, here home in the Cedar Falls, Waterloo area. That's where Mike's from. We're bringing the 141-pounders together, and that's Tsirtsis and Ettleson.
Well, you got to remember, Tsirtsis is coming right off his first loss in a long time in this style, like 250 matches. So he just lost to Iowa State's #1 ranked wrestler. And he's looking to bounce back. But this is a rematch from, I believe, a tournament in Omaha just maybe 3 weeks ago or something. And I believe Tsirtsis won that match 4-3 over the Panther there. But Ettleson.
Well, you're looking at you're looking at 8 state championships here. A 4-time state champion from Indiana with Tsirtsis, and a 4-time state champion from Iowa in C.J. Ettleson, just down the road in Hudson, Iowa. He's a redshirt freshman, and that's C.J. Ettleson now going down after Tsirtsis got a takedown early in the first period.
Brilliant.
He's come out strong. Tsirtsis has come out strong. That loss against Iowa State actually, you know, didn't make him timid. In fact, if anything, that loss, he kind of held back a little bit. He controlled some tie-up situations. It wasn't a lot of action as far as moves, and so maybe he's thinking more, I got to score some more points to win a match.
Well, he does. He looks like he's after it. He's got it hooked under. Whoa.
Boy, he's just got
a man on the mission.
You know, maybe they didn't wrestle earlier this year. I'm not sure, because he's really taking it to him right now. But I believe I saw that score 4-3 last time. So
this was interesting to me because I wanted to see Tsirtsis open up. He really didn't get an opportunity to do that against Gallic, and seen some real aggressiveness from him. But boy, he's strong for a freshman.
Well, he went in and got that underhook. He set it up. He had the inside trip right down to his back. Tsirtsis really out to a big lead here early.
Well, if you can see here, that's probably where he got hurt. He really got scrunched, his head and knee together, and he could have very easily pulled his back. And it took a lot to come off his back there. I'd give him a lot of credit.
See how he
could have settled in there.
See how he turned his belt buckle to the mat there. Got his hips turned and did a nice job of fighting that off.
You're looking at Alex Tsirtsis, 141 pounds, freshman.
Look at this. Look at this.
Big move.
1, 2, 1, 2.
He put it.
He put himself there, but he gave up back points.
I guess Tsirtsis did a good job of
settling back. He lowered his hips.
Seems to me like both guys looking like they're going for a little action here. Yeah, they're going for broke.
I like what Ettleson did there. He's looking for the big move off the bottom.
He needs to get back in the match. He's down 7 points, and it's going to take putting the Tsirtsis on his back.
Yeah, and he's got the type of style here. He can score points himself, really tough from the top position.
I'll tell you, this is what makes for good wrestling, though. I mean, you're seeing action. I mean, it's like not a 4-3 match in this one. It's already 9-2, but you know, anything can happen here. They both have highly credentialed athletes.
Tsirtsis was 136-0, undefeated in high school, 4-time state champion, also very good wrestler at the world level, 6th at the 2004 Junior Worlds. 2 points for Tsirtsis. Cuts him.
Did a great job of snapping timing-wise. Felt the pressure, snapped him, got the goal behind, and then just gave him the intentional release. But it was good duck.
Now he's got to get off of his get his shoelaces up here, drive into him here, but
you know,
Ettleson kind of settles back into him here. It gives him a position basically to almost score.
End of the first period, score 11-3 in favor of Tsirtsis. 14 points scored in the first period.
UNI's choice, your choice. He picks up, you're down.
Oh, the interesting call there. If he takes the top position, that's his strength.
I think it's the right call right now. You score 11-3, you go with your strength. And if you know anything about the Hawkeyes, if you watched them on TV the other night, you see where they have a little bit of trouble in the bottom.
Right.
This will be a big coaching tool for both sides here, just to see who can force their control, and whether you know, Coach Zalesky wants to bring some of these kids along. They cannot spend much time on the bottom because of the fact that that's where you have to be able to score.
Yeah, it's like, what do you do, though? If you defer in that situation, Tsirtsis is probably going to go down anyway. You know, that's that, and then you get an opportunity in the third period to go top too. So it's he wanted to get right on top of him when he was fresh, though. So that was his call.
Well, he's got control right now, and you know, it's like depends.
Stalemate, no action.
I think the next call will be a stalling call if the same position happens.
Okay, are you set?
Well,
okay, come down.
A lot of points scored on a lot of stalling here so far. I mean, it's
no, but as soon as one guy goes into a little bit of a defensive mode, or it just doesn't look like he's moving, the referee here, Mike Ellen, usually keeps the match flow.
Yes, he does. Right now, it's still 11-3 in favor of the man on the bottom there, Tsirtsis from Iowa, where TJ Ettleson chose the top, or CJ Ettleson chose the top position in the start of the second period.
Now he's really trying to work that wrist back. See how he's got the wrist pulled out behind the back now. That's if he doesn't get that, he's looking to go ahead and maybe come through the crotch with it.
No, the tactics were exactly right. Even if he's not scoring, he's breaking the scoring domination of one guy on the feet, and he's getting back into the match mentally, and he's working on the mind of the other kid. So he's trying to but he's going to have to score points here.
Well, he's going to have to score points because I doubt that Tsirtsis is going to go ahead and choose down in the third period.
Hands flat. Hands flat.
Yeah, this is his opportunity right here with that. Can't see the clock here, how many seconds are left here. 50 seconds left. He's got to be able to score in this position because I doubt Tsirtsis is going to go down for much more of this.
Warn the bottom guy for stalling. Warn the bottom guy for stalling.
And you can see here where Tsirtsis have difficulty. He's got his knees butterflied out there like that. That makes it real easy for him to go ahead and put that leg in. You see how he's kind of wrestling a little bit wide there with his knees.
Right. I mean, he's wasting the clock pretty good without, you know, getting called for stalling. He may end up losing a point, you know, by the end of the period here, but he's actually, you know, going through a match where really there isn't a whole lot of effect on him. It did bring the other guy back in the match, though, but still, the point scores are very similar.
Well, and he's also learning a whole lot for the next time they wrestle. If it does end up this way, you at least have a strategy in your mind and say, wait a minute, there is a way I can beat this guy. Now, I can't be stupid. You know, I mean, this is a big gain for CJ Ettleson right now. Obviously, a very impressive start by Tsirtsis from Iowa.
You know, and that's, you know, you got a freshman out there and you're thinking just about winning this match, but
look at that.
Wow, nice ankle pick, and gets control of the match again with the takedown.
And you know, CJ says, I know what I need to do now. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I know. And here it is, though, that from a coaching standpoint, you know that Tsirtsis is going to have to get out from underneath in big matches like he was in last Sunday. Is that would you put him back down there? Because it's early in his freshman year, and I guess I see you shaking your head no, and I'm almost thinking that, that's a position you have to learn at some point in time against higher ranked wrestlers.
I agree with you. You have to learn at some point in time, but right now the kid needs all the confidence that he needs. He needs as many wins as he can get. You don't play around with winning and losing right now a match. But you're right, he's so far ahead, you could put him underneath here because the score is 11-4. But he's, I don't know if you're.
I mean, in a 3-point match, of course you don't do it.
Right.
But, it's just like.
I agree somewhat with. We both agree, but.
But you're saying early on, do what you do best.
Yeah, you want to get the wins and the confidence.
Especially when you're coming off a loss. And you hadn't lost for like 250, even though you said 150 or so, whatever it was. He had a lot more matches before that.
Yeah, we've all seen situations where goofy things happen late in matches and guys getting a tailspin for months after that.
I'd have to say that I didn't see the last match, but it was 4-3. I think he came out with a whole different mind frame. I think Coach Zalesky sent him out to score a lot of points in the first period, based on what I see. So.
And I haven't seen him wrestle except for the match with Gallick, and I was impressed with his position. But, you know, wanted to see if he could go out there and put points up, and he certainly can.
Well, he didn't do a whole lot except hold position. But, you know, Gallick's #1 in the country, and he's, I don't know what year he is, but junior.
And he's great at holding position. You know, that.
Keep wrestling.
I mean, he's scored a lot of takedowns here. Tsirtsis has.
Yes. And some variety, too.
Warren the bottom guy was stalling. Warren bottom.
17-7. 15 seconds left in the match. Tsirtsis from Iowa way out front over Ettleson from UNI. And it looks like Iowa's going to get off to a 4-0 lead if nothing else changes right here. The extra point, the major decision, 4-0 Iowa after Tsirtsis wins 17-7 on the strength of a lot of takedowns.
And some back points there off the takedowns. But I think the biggest thing was that you keep this kid's mind strong for the future, and that was a big win for the Hawkeye. But obviously Penrith wants to bring his young people along, and that was not what he wanted to see.
No, it wasn't. He didn't get off to a very